My name is Phobos Mars, the half-invisible, imaginary friend of Stephen des Lauriers. I came into existence in 1976, and this fact can be verified, by reading Stephen's journals and corroborating them with pertinent passages from his mother's log books. Stephen's mother's journal noted whenever I showed up at 49 Mary Street from Toronto with a Trapper Nelson backpack filled with laundry. On at least 8 occasions, Ma documents that she had, indeed done Stephen's laundry, and 3 of those times, she lamented how my father complained about me doing laundry, so there is proof of authenticity. On top of that, the logbook states how many loads were done. No one has seen Phobos, or Deimos, for that matter. Deimos had a deep fiendish voice and was at the time a budding kleptomaniac. Both are reticulated glass frogs, which are half invisible, so between them they were mostly invisible. Also, it is a fact that Stephen des Lauriers spent $31.90 for a frog costume to perform at a feature at Fatal Birds, an event also documented on March 17, 1976. Stephen made $32, which worked out a dime to the good. That is when Stefan became known as the Amplified Amphibian, the famous phantom frog, and yodeled every frog song he knew. Enough! This song, Stefan is about to lip sync. But don't tell anyone, it's not good for his career, is called Tour de Farce. The song was written for a group of former friends who abandoned me, and kicked me under the bus, so to speak, and I gather them once more and take them on a joyride on a double-decker bus. The song starts off with a double-parked double-decker bus at Philosopher's Walk, which was behind the Royal Ontario Museum, opposite the Harvey's hot dog stand, where we had the so-called incident with the frying pan. As Tony wrote about it, Stefan, Steve Byers and Walter had just settled in a booth with their hot dogs when Stephen and Walter got in an argument about whether Gordon Lightfoot was a real folk singer. Stephen insisted he wasn't, to which Walter said, "You're not serious." And Stephen insisted, "I am." Unbuttoning his coat, to reveal a 5-inch frying pan, hanging from his neck by a shoelace. Walter almost choked on his hot dog. We all laughed. A night to remember. About the song was recorded originally in one take on a Roland 4-track, then it was made into a track by Sharky McEwen for vocals to be added, and the harmonica had to be spliced to match the original. Ken Whiteley was the most prominent man on the take. It was released in 1999 on the Time of Wonder album, on the Music Kingdom label, and nearly every song was played at least once on folk radio stations in America, Canada, and Down Under.
Riding on top of a double-decker bus through the streets of Toronto, hired a band just to serenade us on a whim to wherever we want to. Picnic here at Philosopher's Walk, passing the 6 strings around. This musical feast will rock and roll right up to the top of the town. If your life is blasé, be your own tour guide. Take a double-decker bus on a wild joyride. Find some old friends and bring them along. If the upper deck's open, burst out in song. Turning on young and we'll head to the tower to see if the world rotates. There's where we'd meet with our circle of friends by the Archer for a skate. The Royal Canadian Yacht Club, that summer job was a breeze. There's Harbourfront, it used to be the Bohemian Embassy. If your life is blasé, be your own tour guide. Take a double-decker bus on a wild joyride. Find some old friends and bring them along. If the upper deck's open, burst out in song. Albert's in the church basement, that's where I used to play. Brunswick and Bloor, and we get off by the By-the-Way Cafe. The window above the grocery store, where I typed at a little oak desk. The great Canadian novel, someday I'll have it published. If your life is blasé, be your own tour guide. Take a double-decker bus on a wild joyride. Find some old friends and string them along. If the upper deck's open, burst out in song. And here's where the artist, as a young man, had a so-called incident with a frying pan. And we hear from the women in the upper echelon. This tour de farce goes on and on.